Okay, I have a very in-depth message for this collective. This is about you recently had a tower moment or a realization about a pattern that you have. So this message is not only coming from God's source, but it's also coming from your galactic family. So you could be seeing a lot of like confirmation signs too. Like after you watch this video, even before, like you could be seeing a lot of like random like images of like aliens, or like maybe even on like the TV, or maybe just in like conversation or whatever. That is your galactic family, your starseed family communicating with you, letting you know that they're with you and that they're sending you messages. So whenever you're seeing like a lot of like alien stuff and it's like coming like one in after another, they're like trying to communicate with you. Okay. So that's just like a confirmation for somebody out there, because I feel like this message is for starseeds. Okay. Is for those with a very strong galactic family tie. Okay, so anyways, let me get into it. There's a lot of information here, so just bear with me. But so you are starting from the beginning, but you're taking with you the knowledge that you've gained from all of your failures. So there's something recently, a pattern that you've realized that you have, and this is a spiritual lesson in finances. So if you've been having like money troubles or like money issues, this has been a ongoing theme in your life, and recently you could have like asked God or like prayed about or just thought about like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I having these blockages or like money issues? This could have been like a prayer that you spoke out loud, or this could have been just like a conversation with spirit or whatever it was for you. Spirit's coming through and giving you the clarity that you need in regards to the lesson that you have been learning and why it has been so difficult. Okay, there is a pattern that you have, and this is in regards to how do I word this? Hold on. Okay, so this is in regards to you working backwards, and I'm going to explain. Okay, so you are the kind of person, like, you feel like you need everything before you can start or learn something that you want to do. Okay, let's say this is like let's say this could be your purpose, like your calling that you feel is your calling, or this could be even like a side hustle or just a hobby. Okay, you're the kind of person, and you can look back in your life and see, and maybe this is already just confirmation for you, like you've realized this pattern. Okay, but there is this pattern of like you feeling like you have to have it all before you can even learn how to do what you want to do. And I'm going to give you an example, and Spirit wants me to share my recent thing that I realized and how I realized this own pattern in myself, and it's a collective message, so they want me to share this. Okay, so I had wanted to start sewing. I wanted to learn how to sew. I have been trying. I knew I wanted to sew for a really long time, for years. Okay, in the past, I had I think it was like 8 years ago or something like that, I bought a sewing machine, and I bought all the things I needed for the sewing machine, but I didn't know how to sew. And once I started, I would watch the YouTube videos on how to do it. I got so frustrated that I just gave up. Okay, fast forward, I'm like, okay, I really want to learn how to sew. Like, it's something that I really do want, because eventually I want to make my own clothes and whatever have you, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it again. So I went to the thrift store to look for a sewing machine. Okay, I'm going to show you the sewing machine. It was $20, and I was like, oh, that's such a steal, but it's like an older sewing machine, right? Here's the sewing machine. Okay, so I bought this sewing machine. So I bought the sewing machine, and I was like, okay, and I wanted to set it up. So I was going to set everything up. I went ahead and I went on Amazon, and I bought the thread. I bought other things that I would need for it, right? And then when I went to go set it up, I realized inside it didn't have a bobbin thing. I had to buy this bobbin thing that it needed. You put the thread in there, it goes through, whatever, right? I had to buy the bobbin. It was only like 10, 15 bucks, I don't remember, but still. I was like, okay, that's all I need. I need the bobbin, right? I bought the bobbin, I bought everything else, but I was like, I sat on it. Like, I didn't try to sew or anything like that. Time went on, months went on or whatever. And recently I've been like, man, I really want to like sew some things. I want to like, because I don't want to like go out and buy clothes. I want to just like repurpose, like recycle the clothes that I have, right? So I'm like, I really need to learn how to sew. So I was like, I'm going to set up my sewing machine finally, get the bobbin in there, whatever, right? I set everything up. I even bought needles because I realized that the sewing machine didn't have a needle. So I was like, okay, I bought the needles, whatever. And this was like in the past, right? Bear with me. After I went to go set everything up, I went to go look for the needle, and I realized there was different kinds of needles. I was like, okay, which one do I need? I even looked up that information. And then once I found the right needle, I went to go put it in. I don't know if you can see this. This has no setup to put the needle. I don't know if you can see that. But I realized in that moment that I had absolutely everything that I needed except the one thing that I actually needed to start sewing. That and knowledge of how to sew, right? So there was this realization that happened upon me. This whole realization, it became a whole channel message, a whole like epiphany that I had. And it showed me my entire like life, how I've done this with other hobbies and different things in my life, where I felt like I needed everything before I actually learned how to freaking do the thing, or before I had the one thing that sewing machine needed was the one thing that I didn't have, and I'm probably not going to be able to find it. I'm probably going to have to get a whole new sewing machine because I don't even know what that piece is that I need. So what I'm trying to say, the message that's coming through about this, that Spirit said, is like, start small. Be okay with starting small, especially being a beginner. I feel like this collective struggles with perfectionism, okay? It's like you want to have it all together. You want to have it all before. It's like you want everything to be perfect. And you also expect yourself to be a pro when you're just starting out, okay? It's unrealistic. Like, I say this all with love, okay? The passion in my voice is coming from myself, okay? And maybe Spirit too. But like, you do not need to have everything before you start. Start out small. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to go to the dollar store. Actually, no, I forgot. I do have needles and thread, so I don't even have to go to the dollar store. But yeah, like for example, if you're learning how to sew, just go to the dollar store. They have a little sewing kit and start small. You do not need to go and get a whole sewing machine, especially when you don't even know how to sew, okay? So there's a message here about being okay with starting from the beginning and learning and taking baby steps, okay? I feel like who this message is for, you could be like resonate with being a visionary, or somebody who can like, you're really good at like seeing the outcome of what you want to create, or like you're really good at like, oh, I feel like it's almost like when you, in your mind's eye, you can see the outcome. You can see the outcome so well, and it's so glorious and beautiful that as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, I got to get everything that I need in order to have that outcome. But one thing that you forget is the grounding part. One thing you forget is the baby steps that it's going to take to get there. And so you may find yourself like, literally, when you have this vision of something that you want, or something that you realize is for you, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It's just that it's going to take, you got to start from the beginning. Okay? I feel like I'm going on a tangent here, and I hope whoever has gotten this far and you're sticking along with this message, I appreciate you. But let me get back to the channel message here. It says, feeling like you need everything before you can start or learn, like you buy all the things you will need before you dedicate your time and energy into learning. So by the time you have everything that you need, you realize you're missing the number one thing in order to create it, the foundation. Now, this is a big part. The foundation doesn't come from having all the things that you need. This is where you would get stuck, because like in the past, I feel like in your mind, you're like, oh, well, I have to, like my foundation is having all the like the things that I need, or like, you know, Like even with myself, to give you an example, like when I started out my business, I was so stuck on like the legalities of it and like opening up a LLC and like doing all that before I was even making money. I was like, no, I have to have the LLC like ready, but it's like I didn't even have any money or anything to invest in it. And so it's like I was working backwards. I was working from like the outcome part to the beginning part and not the beginning to the outcome. Does that make sense? And I feel like Spirit is using my failures to kind of like resonate with your, what maybe something that you're currently going through, or something that maybe you're keeping yourself from doing something that you want to do because you're feeling like you need to have everything. You do not need to have everything. The message here is like, you have everything that you need right now here in this moment, and you need to focus on using what you have and then working your way up. Okay, starting small and then working your way up, and everything will naturally flow when you're starting where you're at instead of trying to go ahead and start from a place you're not even at. You're not even there yet. Okay, you could also resonate with future tripping. Okay, if you're anything like me and we're resonating here, or you're aligning with this message, you know. Spirit is saying that the foundation doesn't come from having all of the things that you need. It comes from having the knowledge, the experience, and the know-how within first. That is the foundation. Once you have that, you realize all the bigger stuff comes with time, and it comes naturally. All you need is the basics for you to practice and to learn. So whatever it is whatever it is for you, okay, it could be hobby, it could be your calling, it could be both, it could be a job, it could be career, it could be freaking love even, okay, it could be family. Whatever it is that you're wanting to create and build into the world, you have to start small. And you also have to start with what you have now and where you're at now, instead of starting from where you want to be and then working your way back, okay? Because that's how you get yourself in a hole. Don't do what I did. Okay? And if you did do what I did, we're in the rebuilding phase, and that's totally okay, because you don't know until you know. Spirit is saying that this whole thing, spiritually speaking, this whole lesson has been about you learning that you are enough now. That is the whole symbolic lesson of it all. Because it's almost like Spirit is saying that like the reason why you feel like you have to go and like get everything before you even start is because you don't feel like where you're at now is enough to get where you want to be who you want to be, whatever. And there's like, it's almost like you go out and like buy all the things you need before you even start, because you want to feel like you're enough. You want to feel like you have enough to start on your dream or to do the thing that you need to do, right? And so like Spirit is saying like, you're enough now. Focus on where you're at right now. What do you have right now? If you don't have anything right now, just get the knowledge. If you don't know where to start, or like you don't have the things to start, just focus on getting the knowledge, okay? Mostly everybody has a phone. If you're watching this video, you have a phone. Focus on gaining knowledge. Focus on one little step at a time, okay? Now, I don't know why this image is coming to me right now, but like if you're wanting to learn a different language, you could slowly learn the language little by little, okay? And like start learning the information, watching TV shows, listening to music that have that language where you're learning, you're around it. Or you could pick up your whole life and go to that country where that language is prevalent and not know anything, not be able to communicate with other people. You just immerse yourself and you can learn the hard way there, but it's going to come with a lot of struggles, because it's like you're a baby, you know what I mean? So it's better to be a baby and learn on your own pace while you're still like taking care of other things in your life, learning slowly, not necessarily learning slowly, but like where you have a foundation instead of just uprooting your whole life and going to a different country to learn that language. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? I don't know why that popped into my head, but I hope it's a good analogy for somebody. Okay, where was I? So Spirit is saying it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to be a beginner and take baby steps. You're right now currently working on grounding yourself. You're working on self-discipline, and you are working on baby steps. The Spirit was saying, like, this collective, your past energy was very much like all or nothing mindset. You're very much like, or you were very much like, go big or go home. But you're learning that you don't have to have it all. Like, you don't have to, you're getting out of that all or nothing mindset, and you're learning that not everything is, you don't have to be all in in order for something to work out. I hope that makes sense. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah, so you're definitely in a rebuilding phase right now. You're also currently, so Spirit told me there's certain things that you're working on, and then there's certain things that are coming easily to you right now. So I'm going to start with the things that you're working on currently, and then go into the other part. So right now you're currently working on letting go of someone or something. Okay, this could be like a confirmation for you, but you're currently working on letting go of someone or something, or maybe it's just speaking of this pattern that you're working on letting go of. You're also working on grounding your stability, like we just talked about. And also, you're working on being more present with yourself. So these are the things, the challenges that you're currently facing right now. And Spirit said the things that you're doing easily right now, maybe that have been challenging for you in the past, that maybe aren't so much challenging right now, is you're doing a good job at planning and setting intentions. Feeling and using your inspiration and empowerment energy that you feel right now towards your intentions, so you have the momentum within yourself, like that's building, and you're using that to plan your next step. So Spirit is saying that you're doing, I don't want to say a good job, but you're kind of like, that's what's coming easy to you right now, whereas your challenges are that of what I just mentioned previously. Yeah, so I hope that this message has helped you. I know it was very in-depth, very long message. I appreciate you guys listening and sticking around for this message. I hope that it helps. Yeah, and if you do want a personal reading, I offer personal readings. I offer other services. Everything is in the link in the description, the description box below. If you're seeking either a personal reading, a chakra reading, a passed on loved one letter reading, and yeah, I also offer other services, but I'll just leave the link in there and you guys can check it out if you feel called. But yeah, otherwise, I love you. You're doing great. Just take it one step at a time, really, and be okay with starting over. That's just what I would say. Like, just be okay with, like, you know what, like, let me start all over from the ground up. And that's okay, because you're gonna get there quicker this time around because you have the knowledge of what you didn't before. Okay, so yeah, I love you. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great things. Just be patient with yourself, okay?